Thanks so much for visiting Tea and Butty on YouTube. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hello and welcome to the Tea and Butty podcast. I'm Dominic.
And I'm Erica.
Today's episode is all about who speaks better English. Well, who does? Come on. Answer me that.
I wasn't sure
Answer me that.
I wasn't sure what was going to happen after you.
Yeah.
said the
Someone might
title
come
of
in and
the
go,
episode.
it's America or Britain.
Well, you came up with this topic.
Yeah.
So I have no idea where you're really wanting
We did
to go with this.
as you know, I come up with topics like last minute, or I come up with ideas for stuff last minute, or we do.
Yeah.
And so we put this quick poll out on Instagram.
Yeah.
And
Who
that,
speaks better English?
And it was actually, it was like the election.
It
went well. It went very well, I think.
It's only been up for, I don't know, a couple of hours, I think. So,
A couple of hours,
so
which is all you need.
Very
You
scientific.
can stop. We're stopping counting. We're stopping counting.
Very scientific. I'm sure we'll get some more votes as
Time goes on.
as time goes on.
Yeah, but they won't make a difference.
But anyway,
It's very divisive. We're already projecting what we're going to say here, so.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
No, go ahead.
Well, apparently,
In the 2 hours that the poll's been
in the
up.
2 hours of the poll being out, we just closed it, 10 people voted for Britain, and only 1 voted for America.
Yeah.
And that's strange, because, you put up a thing saying, well, why did you vote like this? Why did you...
Yeah, I put
say
up a
this?
question asking why you voted the way that you did. But first of all, I want to say, if you're not following us on Instagram and are curious what this poll is going to look like in more than just 2 hours time, follow us on Instagram. We'll put the results up.
Yeah, we'll give it a couple more hours, and then we'll put the results
Well, we'll
up.
probably wait until maybe tomorrow or something.
Maybe tomorrow,
Yeah, we'll put the results up so you can have time. Well, tomorrow meaning today, because we're recording this podcast.
It'll be up by the time you're listening to this.
Yeah. You should be able to find the results on that. Anyway, okay, so to get to why people think that Britain speaks better English, actually, the first reply that we had says, dare I say, in some cases, Ireland speaks better English.
Grand.
Yeah.
Grand.
I think that's interesting.
And that's well, they definitely have better accents. I do like the Irish accent. I'm going to say that.
I would.
It's one of my favourite accents in the world.
I kind of wish that she would have actually DM'd us because you're limited to how much you can actually say in these Instagram replies to questions.
Gives a more detailed answer there, yeah.
I mean, she's from Ireland, this person who replied this, so, it could be a little bit like wink, wink,
Well, yeah, I imagine it is, but yeah, it's
But if she really thinks that, I'm curious, I'm just curious to know more. Another reply said, Aluminium.
Aluminium, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not sure what that is, it's
up.
aluminum.
Yeah.
In British.
Yeah, in British English. So, in Britain they say aluminium. Yeah. And I thought for the longest time...
They were two different things?
No, I thought that you guys were just mispronouncing it.
Mispronouncing it?
I was like, yeah, but obviously the way we pronounce it is correct because there's not an extra I in the end. You're putting an extra I in the end of the word.
And then she found out we spelt it like that too.
Yeah.
And it's just, that's how it goes, Yeah. We put a U in things too. And, we'll get to this because I did a whole, little bit of a history.
Okay, yeah. I do want to... Okay, let's finish with these replies. Another reply we had on Instagram says, you shouldn't be surprised by my answer. They speak proper English.
Yeah, and that was from American.
That was from an American, yeah. The first two, obviously, the first person was from Ireland. The second person was from Wales, actually. And the third, this reply was from an American, so... Proper English, British...
Turncoat right there.
Yeah.
A traitor to the Webster Dictionary.
And then another reply from another American actually says he put the little British flag and he says they invented it.
And did a shrugging emoji.
And did a shrug emoji, you know, yeah.
It's funny that, because, you know, and I have another Irish friend, this is not the same one, they said something about they got into an argument with an American over, I don't know if it was a spelling or the way they pronounced something, and it's just like, well, who invented the, and, you know, the Irish goes, well, who invented the language? It was the English. So it's their language and, you know, their rules, basically, you know. But it was an open language for a long time.
I was going to say, I don't know. I mean...
You can't really... You know, it's called English.
English, it evolved. They didn't really invent it because it's Germanic language, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, well, no. You know, I mean, there was no one guy that sat down, you know what, I'm going to invent these words and, you know...
Right.
We're all going to speak this now. You know?
Let's read this last reply and then we'll get more into this discussion because the last...
It's a hot potato or potato.
Oh my God. The last response that we had says, I feel like Britain has proper English and the accent just makes it sound better. Sorry, just being honest.
Another American there. Deserting you in droves.
Yeah, so there you go. Instagram has spoken.
So it was 10 in that hour. It was 10 votes to 1.
2 hours.
Honorable mention to the one who stood up for his country there and said American English is better.
I always wonder, because we have so many more views on these Instagram stories than we actually get replies sometimes.
And they just don't.
I wonder if people just look at it and they're like, I'm not gonna vote in that.
I'm not gonna vote in that.
I'm
not voting.
I'm not partaking in that. I've had enough with
I've had enough
voting.
with the voting to last me a lifetime.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
An election night that lasted for a week, you know.
So first, before you get into
the ins and outs that I've found on the interwebs.
I mean, when you told me that you wanted to do this as a topic, I was a little bit like,
why?
What? I was a little bit like, what do you mean, who speaks better English? Yeah, obviously the language originated in England, you know, so.
But who speaks it better? I mean, and it's open to, like, it's not just open to, like, using words. It's open to, like, the way that it's spelled, dialects. You know, I'm opening this up
Okay,
now.
so let's see what you've got, and then I'll see if my opinion changes. Because at the moment, I'm like, well, you know, American English I mean, it's like it's derived from British English.
Yeah.
Which is derived from, like, sort of German in a way.
German. Yeah, it's, I mean, going back that far, you know.
Because in the early days...
Obviously, it's much older than American English.
Well, in the early days, like, you know, we talked in, what was it, last week? About Last Kingdom. About the show The Last Kingdom. And, you know, if they were being real, I mean, obviously everyone in the show is speaking English, but...
Yeah. If they were being real...
If they were being true to history...
They wouldn't have been able to understand it, some people.
Yeah. I don't know if they had English as we know it at that point.
It was Old English.
Yeah.
Because there was you know, there's Old English, like, that's, like, kind of died out, I think, in the Middle Ages.
Because everywhere, I mean, except Scotland, spoke, like, a version of Celtic. That was the native language. Like,
Gaelic.
Which would sound... Gaelic,
yeah.
Which would sound sort of like Welsh, from my understanding. It would have sounded
it's similar to Welsh.
Like the Welsh language is the evolution of the original native British language.
Yeah.
So really, you know, they wouldn't have all been speaking English. I don't know how they would have communicated.
Alfred the Great, to go back to Last Kingdom, I think he wanted to, you know, to unify England, so he wanted them all speaking one language. He would have wanted
to have a common
Old
language,
English, yeah. I go back to that, just have one language, you know, and that's it, you know. And I think, it's the official language of Britain, English.
Yeah.
America doesn't have an official language.
Yeah.
English isn't its official language, even though, you know, you speak to certain people and they go, oh, this is America. I mean, we speak English. It's like, you know, you can speak whatever you want here.
When you say official language, like, is it actually written somewhere English is the language of this. I mean, what makes it official?
When you get to Heathrow, there's
No,
a big
is this
banner.
real?
There's a
Is
big
this
banner that
real?
says English officially sponsors England.
Shut up. Oh my god.
No, I'm kidding, everyone. It's just like, no, I think there is something written in the Constitution of Britain that was like...
Britain doesn't have a constitution.
It does. There is a constitution out there, but it's like... It's not like the same thing as... It's not the same thing like America's constitution, but it's what they call the Constitution, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like an ethereal thing, you know? It's like the unwritten... You know, it's not like the Declaration of Independence.
Right,
right. You know, it's like the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. It's all just kind of like England's constitution, you know, its parliamentary process and, you know, everything, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think there's actually like a... I you know, tell me if there is, you know, if there's somewhere that, you know, in the annals of the Palace of Westminster, in the dungeon, it's like, you know, you just go... You know, and there's, oh, here it is, you know, the Constitution of Britain. You know, but I think I think it's officially, like, recognized, shall we say.
Yeah.
I mean,
if someone knows, tell us. Tell us whether Dominic's wrong.
This is stuff I'm not, like, looking up on the phone or looking up on the thing. I'm just spouting this stuff. So,
I mean, sometimes we look up things as we're going because we're very professional like that.
Oh,
but...
yes. Sometimes we have to look up things, but sometimes I'm just like, no, I have heard it.
You know, this is just
before.
a chat, you guys. This is like, you're not coming here to learn. You're coming here just...
Yeah, we're not teaching you things, are we?
You're coming here just for a chat, and then...
No, I will say if I definitely
know
something, but, you know, sometimes I'm pretty sure I've seen it somewhere that English is the officially recognized in England as the main language,
okay.
you know.
Well, anyway.
And in America, it's not, you know, because that's where that idiom comes from, you know, like that kind of feeling where people go like, oh, this is America, you need to speak English.
Yeah.
Here, you know, and it's like, there's no, it's not the official language, you know. It's like the good majority of the people do.
I mean, it would be helpful if you did.
It would be helpful, but it would also be helpful if you spoke Spanish too, or whatever language they might be speaking, you know.
Yeah.
It's good to be bilingual.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Very good. But yeah, I mean, it's much older than American English, obviously. And, you know, the French, when they invaded England in 1066, the Normans, they brought a lot of their language too. So, you know, it's like it just kind of evolved into that kind of thing. You know, like English it's always constantly evolving, really.
Yeah. When
you think about it. So, you know, like the R-E...
Except you keep pronouncing buffet like Buffett, even though we've told you not to.
Even though we told you not to. Buffett. I say buffet sometimes. Fillet. You know, I definitely say fillet. Yeah, I don't like saying fillet. I don't know. It just seems weird.
You do say rendezvous, though, don't you?
Well, that's a totally French word. You know, it's like cul-de-sac. I mean, you know, is a French word.
Fillet is too. You know.
Cul-de-sac and rendezvous and there's other ones as well. Yeah. You know, like the REOUIS constructs, you know, like center RE.
Oh yeah,
you spell it ER over here. Yeah. Well, that's kind of like
theater,
that's a very
theater.
That's a very kind of like anglicized way of spelling it. But you know, the French, and considering the French kind of like helped out with the Revolutionary War, you'd imagine they'd come over here and start saying, no, you spell it like this. We've told you not to. You know.
You keep spelling it like this, even though we
you put that U back in there. You know.
Oh, that's why you guys put a U in things like color and favorite.
Yeah, the French. The French come in and they say, here, that'd be better with a U. And I was like, no, we want to get away from England now. And the French are like, no, leave the U. It's like, no, we're going to make it even more English.
It's much more beautiful with the U.
And of course, you know, English came to American shores via the British settlements. And, you know, then it just kind of like started separating, you know, because in the 1700s, you know, like around the time of the Revolutionary War, it was still an open language. There was no kind of spelling that was right. You know, like if someone wrote a letter in the Continental Army, and you know, passed it to the British Army, they you know, it's not like, oh, he spelt it the American way. This came from an American, you know,
right?
Or, you know,
we watched something about that, didn't we? About when they actually sat down and were like, okay, let's compile all the words. And then they were officially like, this is how they're spelled. I can't remember what that... It was a film.
It was a film.
And I can't remember when that took place either. When that was set.
I think it wasn't anything... I think...
It was to do with Webster's Dictionary?
It was the
Oxford.
Oxford,
Webster's.
yeah.
Oxford English Dictionary.
It was to do with the etymology of words. Where they came from, you know, the history of them.
Oh, right, yeah.
But
I mean, it would have also created an official spelling, you know, once it had been written down and recorded into a book.
It was after Johnston's time. It was after Samuel Johnson, who wrote the Oxford English Dictionary, you know, who compiled all the words from aardvark through to Z or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Or Z, as they like to say over here.
Yeah.
That's something I don't get. It's because that's a bone of contention with me, is because, you know, when you're spelling something out, it sounds like C, but you're saying Z. Yeah. And it's like, that's how it became Z in the English, the British English, is because it's like differentiates yourself from saying C.
But when you're writing the alphabet out, like on a chalkboard, A, B, C, D, da, 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 da. Okay. When you get to the end,
X, Y,
and you write Z-E-D.
Yeah.
Now that is wrong. See, that is where American English is correct, I guess.
Well, no, we don't write, we don't write Z-E-D.
You would just write the letter Z.
Yes.
But then when you say it, you say Z, even though you write it like that. All the rest of them are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H.
I don't know why over here it decided, Z becomes Z-E-E, you know?
We don't spell it out like that. The letters are just whatever the letter is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know whether that's something for maybe for another podcast. Because this is, you know.
Otherwise, everything would be I don't even know how you would do that.
I think it's code.
Y,
it's like codes
B-E-E.
You know, like when they're giving out like the universal code, you know, when police officers go like, the registration number is Alpha 4, you know,
but
it's like, it's to differentiate.
That's the Greek alphabet, isn't it? Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon. You know, and that's fine because those are all like you would have to spell
My
them
name
out, you know?
is I can't think of a name. Zach,
yeah.
Zach, yeah. And it's like, is that S you're saying or Z? You know? How do you spell that?
Oh my god.
Well, I spell it Z-A-C-K, you know?
And in America, we would be like, what is Z?
And in America, you would spell it Z-E-C-K. Z-E-C-K.
Z-A-C-K.
Z and C.
Zach. Z-A-C-K.
Z-A-C-K.
Yeah.
And it's like, so someone who can't tell the difference between the sounds, you know, who couldn't hear, or if it was like a crackly line or something, they'd be like, your name is Cack. Is that... You know,
and I would say Z as in zebra.
And they'd be like, what's a zebra? It's a zebra. What's a zebra? It's a zebra.
Oh my god.
Gosh diddly darn it, people. But yes, I mean, that it's you know, that's how it happened. It's right. Like, you know, like the Revolutionary War happened, and of course there was like Anti-British Feeling, you know, it's like, oh, those terrible Brits, and we're gonna separate ourselves, become our own country.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep the language, but we're gonna modify it, and you know.
Mm.
And I mean, it, you know, it could have started out from Britain, you know, like, you know, all these people, the new world, all this kind of stuff, you know, it's a new world, it's a new language, you know, it's a new way of saying Z, you know,
yeah.
We're just going to drop the D and put on an E, and it's Z, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's aluminum. We're dropping that I, we're dropping all the you. We're getting rid of you, So everything's favor and, parlor, and whatever. And I mean, of course, now it's like in Britain, it's like, oh, that's the wrong spelling. You spelt that wrong. And, it's like, but it's kind of like in today's world, people, it's kind of like either or now.
Sometimes.
I notice, like, for instance, right, when I was on the internet in the early days, and I'd be speaking to other British people, and they'd spell mum M-O-M.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, why are you spelling it like that? That's not how we grew up spelling it.
Yeah.
It's like, because they'd been talking to Americans.
But that wouldn't be
M-O-M.
correct, would it? Because you wouldn't pronounce M-O-M. You wouldn't pronounce the O like
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's not correct, really.
Not correct for them to do it. No,
whereas,
I agree. They should be taken out and hanged immediately.
Whereas, like, favor or parlor or whatever, they're still pronounced the same way.
Yeah,
whether they're with a U or not.
Because the way you say mum, it's like mom.
Mom. My mom. Yeah.
Mom. So it's M-O-M.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can hear the R in there.
Whereas
in the six, mum. Mother,
yeah,
mother, but then again, mother is spelled M-O-T-H-E-R, so it kind of
like
spelled.
But I guess that's
like
because,
Martha, yeah.
But I guess that's because of the E at the end, the ER.
Yeah.
That makes it sound
mother.
Different. Yeah.
Where's me mother?
Yeah.
Where's me mum? Like ma'am. Actually, I've heard you say, oh, me ma'am says no.
Yeah.
That's kind of like up in the northern.
But then the way we pronounce ma'am, yes ma'am, no ma'am.
M-A''A''M.
You guys pronounce it like mom.
Yes, mom. Yes, mom. Yes, mom.
Which to me sounds like mom, like my mom.
Yeah, mom. Mom.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
mom.
Yes, mom. That's how you.
But you would say that it sounds different, wouldn't you?
Mom. Yeah, I mean,
it's like the Dana Donna.
It's a Dana Donna. Oh,
Dana God. Donna.
Our wedding reception. There was this woman called Dana.
Dana.
And I'd seen it spelt on the thing. It was DNA, and I was calling her Dana. And you were like,
I was like, her name is not Donna.
Her name is not Donna.
And you were like, no, her name's not Donna.
Her name is not Donna. Why are you saying Donna? And I was like, what are you talking about? How are you spelling that? And you went D-O-N-N-A. And I'm like, I am not saying Donna. I am saying Dana. And it's like, her name's not Donna. Call her Dana. And I was like, it's D-A-N-A. That's how you say it, Dana. It's like, there's no Y in there. Same with tomato.
Dana. It's like her name is Dana. You're calling her Donna.
I was like, oh, yeah, Donna or whatever, Donna and Dana to me sound completely different. Donna.
Oh, here's a British English, American English question, sort of. If a person's name, like the name Kara, for instance.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
If that person
name pronunciations
is from, like, this side of the Atlantic, and they say, my name is pronounced Cara, is it okay then to then pronounce it Cara?
Well,
that's the question for you guys.
It's kind of like people who want R-A-L-P-H to be pronounced Rafe. There's a few people. It's not just Rafe Fiennes who likes that.
Yeah.
But everybody else it's not Rafe. It's Ralph.
Rafe. I mean,
Ralph,
to me it sounds French. Rafe. It sounds like the way.
But no, I've seen Rafe spelled R-A-I-F.
But it's like if it's that person's name, don't you respect the way they want to be?
Well, I want
pronounced.
my name to be pronounced Zebra. I want Dominic. It's like how are you saying that? Zebra. No, I mean it's not. It's how people like their names. It's because they grew up. People call it. My dad was calling my dad and mother were calling me Cara. It's going to be Cara.
Yeah.
But I think Cara, it's C-A-I-R-A. But maybe that's Kiara, or Kira, or Cara, or Cara. Yeah, I'm not sure how, because that's like an Irish name to me.
Yeah.
I think it is anyway.
You can spell Cara, Cara also.
Yeah. But I mean, I'd say Cara and Sarah. Sarah, right? People call someone Sarah.
Yeah.
I think Sarah is said Sarah with an H on the end, and with no H, it's Sarah.
Oh yeah, we don't make.
When I see Sarah, oh yes, that's Sarah.
We don't make a distinction. Yeah, it's pronounced the same way whether it has an H
if
on the end.
Yeah, if it's Sara. I knew a few Sarahs in school. They were called Sarah. That's how they wanted to be called. Sarah. And there was Sarah's as well with the H, and her name was Sarah. I wouldn't call Sarah Sarah and Sarah Sarah.
Oh my!
Because it would get too confusing. And I'm like, who the hell am I talking to here? What the hell do you want from me?
Yeah.
But yes.
Anyway.
I mean, there you go. When people want to learn English, they, in especially places like China and India and Russia and non-native speakers,
right.
They have a choice.
I never ever knew that until just the last few years. Yeah. That's the craziest thing to me.
It's casual.
I mean, it makes sense, but I just never thought about it being an arrogant American, I suppose.
Well, I never thought about it either. I think I only heard about it when someone in China was talking in a chat room, and they were speaking. Just like, oh, excuse me, I'm speaking casual English, or something, or I'm speaking formal English.
So what we're talking about is let's say in Asia, for instance, if they want to learn English, they have the choice: British English or American English. Or you said it's also called business English,
business or casual. Yeah, business in the front, party at the back.
Which American English is the casual English in this scenario.
Like a mullet, it's like the mullet English. But apparently, I was looking at this up. It's like casual English is mostly like, it's like American slang and casual kind of like sup. Oh
yeah.
It's like it's easier for like a younger person to learn because it's kind of easy, the slang and everything.
It's funny because I guess when you think about it, if you meet Asian people in Britain, they usually have British accents, even if they're usually speaking English with a British accent.
Maybe.
Most of the time.
I don't know, yeah.
I mean, I think so. And these are not Asian people who were born in Britain. These are people I'm talking about who have come from wherever, Yeah. Whereas over here, you mostly hear them speaking it with an American accent. And you just don't really think about it because it's like we're in America, so yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm thinking about exchange programs and stuff that we had in school when I was younger, and they spoke English. Yeah, they all just had they all spoke it with an American accent, let's say,
Yeah.
I can't think of anybody that I ever met that spoke it with a British accent. So, but they must have had the choice, I guess, because obviously they didn't grow up speaking the language in the first place. So, I wonder how did they make that decision? I hope to go to college in Britain, so I want to learn it with a British accent. Or
well, no, that's mainly what happens. Middle Eastern, Asian people.
Mm-hmm.
They come to Britain, they study at Oxford or Cambridge or wherever.
Yeah.
And so they develop an accent that's kind of like that. And
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like it's a British accented English.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just, I guess, where they studied, and picked up the language.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah, because...
Picked up the inflections and everything,
I wonder if the same is true for Spanish-speaking countries. So, South America, I wonder if they get a choice when they want to learn English. Or if it's just automatically American English.
It's probably American English, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Just because they're closer.
I mean,
I
mean, American English and British English, it's kind of like, casual English is American English and formal English is British English, business English. Where, an example of casual English is like, hey, what's up? You going to that party tonight?
Why? You guys, see, this is why
Hey, what's up?
This is why we're going to start.
You going to that party
We're going to
tonight?
start doing videos because when he's doing the American accent, he's got to like move his shoulders.
I gotta move my shoulders, you know.
Like really into it.
I gotta, because that's what you do.
guys are
Every
missing
time she's talking, she's moving her shoulders. I'm just mimicking you here.
God.
And formal English, you know, is like, greetings, how are you? Will you be attending the reception this evening?
Yeah, but who speaks like that?
No,
Even
yes, I
in
mean,
Britain.
salutations, you know, it's very, like, old. No one speaks like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it's the true word, you know, and it's true, it's like that, it's like the proper way to speak. Is what they're saying, and this is kind of like, oh well, this is just abbreviations, and you know, it's very few words of the true language of
because
English.
It's like unless you are prepping to meet royalty at the ball, you know?
Well,
it's like
even
you don't really need to know how to
even with
speak
royalty
that
at the
way.
ball now. I mean, it's like in like, oh yes, Your Highness. Oh yes, of course, Your Highness. One does do that, doesn't they? You know, don't they? Your
Doesn't
Highness?
they?
Doesn't.
And there's an example of Dominic's English for you.
One does do that, don't they? You know, I don't know. You know, you wouldn't say that today. You know, if you met the Queen, you're just like, oh yes, Your Majesty.
Actually,
yes.
I was watching.
Oh yes, I did. Yes. Oh, and
I don't know. You're wrong.
What do you mean I'm wrong?
Just yesterday, I was watching a vlog from I don't know where she lives. She lives in Britain somewhere.
In Buckingham Palace.
And she says, "Oh, one." She refers to herself as one when she's talking. And she's just talking. She does not seem like she's thinking about it.
There are people who do that.
Oh, but one doesn't really want to do that.
One doesn't really want to do
does
that.
One?
Yes. Oh no. Yes, they live out in the country. They've been brought up that way, and it's, you know.
I like it. I think it sounds good.
I've met people like that, and you think, you know, like
it does sound proper though, doesn't it?
People are the Brits, like who are, say, like of
common.
like a common, common lower class. You know, it's like they think, oh, this person, she goes to Tesco, she goes to the same places I go to. Yeah. She's just being pretentious.
Yeah.
By saying, oh, one does do that, don't they? And oh, saying one, and oh, properly, and oh, speaking with a plum in the mouth. It's like, no, they haven't gone to a finishing school. It's just how they've been brought up.
Yeah.
It's like Giles and Mary on Gogglebox. There are people who actually speak like that, but they're very few.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a surprise to me. I met a few of them in my life too. You know, like they usually like live on a farm.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like an estate, but it's an estate or something. You know,
I was
like,
gonna say, yeah,
not a farmer, but they live on a farm that's like doesn't really do much else.
I was gonna say, because
and they walk around and they're just like, oh yes, oh one does like to do that, don't they? Yes, oh yes, oh how wonderful, how lovely, you know.
Because the same would be exact opposite in America. You know, if someone who lived on a farm, you could usually expect their English to be very like extremely casual. You know?
Yes.
Yeah. And you would only really find like maybe the like Ivy Leaguers, like maybe up in New England area that speak like that. Like,
and I mean, a vlogger on YouTube is going to be like lambasted for it too. It's going to be like, oh, you don't really speak like that. You're just talking. But it's like, yeah, if it's coming...
That's not fair. Maybe she does.
But if it's coming out naturally, sometimes, you know, it's like you can tell someone who's putting on that. Oh, hello, yes. Oh, yes, one does, you know. Oh, you know. And then they don't say, I do. They say I in the next, you know.
Yeah.
I do like to do that, whatever, you know. It's just like, yeah, but I've met people who are not putting it on, but people think, oh, they're just all pretentious, so I don't like them. Yes, don't like them at all. But yes, I think we've come to the end of this episode now.
That was a fun discussion, actually.
It was a fun discussion. Did you enjoy it?
I really wasn't sure where we were going to be able to go with that discussion, because it was just
we just been talking, and I think we're a little bit over time, but...
We are a little bit over time, so we need to wrap this up.
Wrapping it up.
Before we do, I just want to remind you guys that you have until midnight, until 11:59 p.m. I think I made it Central Time because that's the time zone we're in. Central Standard Time tonight, Tuesday night, to enter the giveaway, and then that's it.
That's it for
you. And we will announce the winner on Thursday's podcast. So, which is our 200th episode, by the way.
It's our 200th episode.
I cannot believe it. I mean,
we've been going for 200 years, people. Bet you didn't know that, did you? Someone just said we look so youthful, and you know. It's, 200 years of sitting talking to a microphone.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
It's been a long time.
No, our 200th episode, so we wanted to give a giveaway.
Yeah.
Give a giveaway.
Giveaway to celebrate. So if you guys haven't entered, you have till the end of tonight to do so. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whichever one you prefer, whichever one you're more active on. We're on all of them.
Yes.
And you can find our little giveaway post on there and just follow the rules in the description. And it's very simple. All you have to do is say something like Texas tea for me and
Texas tea for me.
And tag 3 friends. Yeah. Voila. I think that's about it. So
it's wonderful.
And then you'll have to listen to our 200th episode on Thursday to see if you won.
The requirement is to listen because we're not going to announce it on social media.
No, you have to listen. And
One is not going to announce it on social media.
And you have to contact us if you are the winner. And if you do not contact us, then we will choose another winner.
Yes, and we'll just keep choosing another winner.
And yes, that is to make you listen to our podcast. So, sorry about that.
Listen in, find out. Yes, sorry about that. You have to listen to find out.
We appreciate you guys listening, tuning in, sticking with us. We appreciate all your support, and we'll talk to you next time.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.